Hello, and welcome to Riverfront Territory, a Cincinnati Reds podcast on the Foul Territory Network. I am Trent Rosecrans, longtime writer for the Athletic, covering the Cincinnati Reds. And this is my co-host, who, among many other similarities to Michael Irvin, is a member of the University of Miami's Athletic Hall of Fame, Mr. Danny Graves.
Let's not hear about the other similarities to Michael Irvin. I mean, we could, I guess.
Your face on that was great.
Yeah, you know what's so funny? Before you go any further, I did see one guy at Redsfest said that this is his favorite part of our show, when you just throw things at me and you stump me. Yeah, he loves it. He can't wait for it.
Good. So, for him, you're welcome. This one was not like a stumper, but this one was it got you. Got a reaction. Is what
it was a little shocker. For. Yeah.
So we won't go much further on that one. We won't elaborate on. Was there a little White House in Coral Gables for the baseball team? We'll talk about Elly De La Cruz.
Yeah, Elly De La Cruz is a great topic. I'm anxious to hear more about this story.
There was a story this week from The Athletic about Elly De La Cruz that he had turned down what Nick Kroll called the largest contract in Reds history last year, last spring training. And so that was more than the $225 million extension that Joey Votto signed way back in 2000. Was that 12 or 11? One of those. It was after his MVP season. So that is, quite honestly, you hear all the time, oh, why don't they extend these guys? And thing is, they're trying. It just takes, two to actually get a extension done. Two parties, not really people, since your agent is part of that party, have to agree.
Yeah.
So Danny, you've been around here. Were you surprised at all that they've both offered and that Elly didn't take
it? No and no. Right. I think, first of all, Elly not taking it, whatever the amount is, he's a type of at the status where going through arbitration, going through the free agency process, as each Major League Baseball player is allowed to do with that certain service time, he's going to take advantage of what he's allowed to do, and value himself. He values himself very highly, and I think whatever numbers are thrown out there, he's gambling on himself to continue to get better and better and better. I mean, he's 23 years old, so he's not even in his prime yet. This kid is going to get so much better. I think he's advancing in so many different realms of Major League Baseball. Of course, I don't think it's a shock that he said no. And there's going to be so many people, Trent, that are saying, I can't believe the Reds did that. They offered him that much money. Well, a lot of this stuff happens quite often, but it's never brought out. It's never heard about. It's crazy. Even back when I was playing, it was happening. I had Jim Bowden, who was our GM at the time. He threw out some numbers to me well before my first or second arbitration year about an extension. And we said no, and then that was it, But there's offers that are being made by the teams that players are turning down. But, it's always why aren't they trying to do anything? Why aren't they trying to sign extensions? Well, they are.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it just is one of those, you say that when you're making that decision, since you've made this decision, what do you weigh?
Am I gambling on myself? Do I have enough confidence in myself that I'm going to get better? A lot of times people are going to take that gamble, but then a lot of times it just depending on how you feel physically and mentally. Okay, I want some security right now. I want to make sure I have security, and then I'm going to go for the big contracts after that. Perfect example, Hunter Green, he knows that he's good, but he wanted security. He's happy where he was at. He's happy with the number that they offered him with his multi-year deal at a very cheap price. Some people don't need $300 million to live. Some people are okay with getting $75 million. I know that sounds ridiculous, those numbers, but
no, yeah. The numbers sound ridiculous.
A lot of guys, yeah, a lot of guys, it's not all about having the most money. It's about having the security that year after year, you're going to have that job. Like right now, I think certain media jobs that are offered to me, I don't take them because I don't know if they're going to be something that I could take again the following year or the following year. We've talked about this, Trent. We both like job security.
Mm-hmm.
If there was a chance for us to test the free agent market and make $300 million a year, we might not worry about the job security. We might take chances of year after year. So I don't fault Hunter Green for signing. I don't fault Elly De La Cruz for saying no.
When you look back at it, do you wish you would have signed it, or did it end up being the right decision?
No, it was the right decision. I would have got more service time. But thinking about it, the decision was right for me, because if I would have taken that, I would have had a couple extra years of service time, but being crappy, being terrible. I know when my 3-year deal was up with Cincinnati and I ended up playing another year with Cleveland, I was not good. And I just couldn't continue to go on thinking that I was good. And to be able to not be able to perform and not be who you want to be, and get those free extra years, it was not like what I was about. I knew my time was up. So,
yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about Danny's lack of performance here after this break.
Nobody likes a bloated cell phone bill. It can consume you. It can take over. It can be very annoying. So I know that 2025 ended Kratz, and that's when you have your end of year sales, but there actually is still one sale that is running until the end of the month.
Mint Mobile. They still have their 50% off their unlimited premium wireless offer that you got to go and get and take advantage of, because it's not necessarily going to be around all the time.
And all plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Quit overspending on wireless with 50% off unlimited premium wireless. Plans start at $15 a month at mintmobile.com/territory. That's mintmobile.com/territory. Limited time offer. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Over 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
All right. So, it's funny. These long-term deals, I think we think about the Evan Longorias, the Bobby Witt Juniors, the ones that work out. There are also ones that don't work out. I remember the Reds were in Philadelphia when Scott Kingery got this big, okay, we're going to lock him up. And, that can happen. So you are taking a risk. I think the Reds felt pretty good about the risk they were taking with Hunter Green. They felt good taking that risk with Elly De La Cruz, but I'm guessing that Nick Krall didn't expect Elly to take it. But hey, you got to shoot your shot, right?
Yeah, Wayne Gretzky said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So might as well. You got to shoot your shot, and if he takes it, wow, you look like a genius. And everybody might be questioning, why did Elly do this? But Elly would have been okay with the largest contract in the history of the Cincinnati Reds. But at the same time, he still could get the largest contract from the Cincinnati Reds, whether it's this year or a couple more years arbitration or when he becomes a free agent.
Right.
It still could happen.
It could still happen. A lot of things can happen between now and then. Sadly, including a labor dispute, but, we'll not think about that. But, Elly is not a complete product. And I think that is part of his thinking as well, right? Like, you know, if you look at what he was coming off of, or coming off of 2024, you know, this is his baseball savant, which I've talked about. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of red. It's a lot of red. And so he was coming off of this, and that's like, okay, we expect the same. You know, like right now, I don't think he would take it, but, you know, maybe you have a better chance if you did now coming off of this. Now, I think Elly is much more this than this. But there's still a lot to go there, and a lot to see, and a lot to do. A lot can happen over the next couple of years. So it's not like, I always love when people are just saying, oh, you know, why would you announce it? Or they're not letting him play in the WBC. He's going to be upset. It's going to be a long time before that's an issue. And maybe it is. And maybe it's like 2 years down the road and you do the Juan Soto. Remember, Juan Soto turned down a lot of money that everybody thought he was crazy to turn down, like $400 million. Well, he got $700 million. I mean,
he almost doubled it. So
and you know, like, far be it for me to say, oh, well, if you can have $700 million, why don't you just take $400 million? That's like, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of an analogy. It's like, you know, if Scarlett Johansson wanted to go out with me, like, I just don't know how that would feel. And I just don't need, I'm never going to be in that position. So, like, why worry about how I would react to something that's never, ever going to happen?
Okay. So I'm sitting here trying to think of comparisons to 400 million and 700 million. And your comparison is something that's never going to happen.
I mean, neither one of them is going to happen for me. So, like, Scarlett or 400 million or 700 million.
Okay, well, let's use the example of somebody that's fresh out of college that gets an offer of $70,000 as opposed to $40,000. One of them is in their hometown, or one of them has an extra year of guaranteed. So, you know, I know it's a lot less money that we're talking about, but it's still choices that you have to make. 40,000 coming right out of college, it could be great for a lot of people. You know, 70,000 would be a lot more, but 400 million is great for a lot of Major League Baseball players. But 700 million that you know you can get is even better.
Well, you know, it's funny. I actually kind of just thought of something, like a pretty decent analogy. So my sister went to medical school. I obviously did not. She is the smart one. And so she went to medical school, but a lot of her classmates got student loans, and most doctors that you see now are still paying off their student loans. Well, my sister instead joined the Navy. And so the Navy paid for her medical school. And, you know, early in her career, when she was a resident in the Navy, she got paid more than most residents on the outside. So she had security, she had no debt. But when after a residency, she got paid a lot less than the people on the outside. And it's almost like, okay, which one do you feel? And for her, the right decision was to have no debt and to be good. And by all accounts, she made the right decision. But it was one of those things, like you look and it's security versus what it could be. And the
thing about it is, it was her decision.
It's right for whoever. Right, exactly.
Yes.
And I don't think like you can say that she made the right decision or the wrong decision. She made the decision that was right for her, and she went on. I did not have any one offering to pay for my medical school. So,
well, you're underestimating your knowledge, your brain. I think you're very smart. Well, you don't have to go to medical school to be smart. I mean,
you don't have to go to medical school to be smart, but you kind of have to be smart to like go to medical school and finish it, I would think.
You also have to be smart to write the way that you do too. So,
that's cute. That's nice of you. That really is.
Just saying.
I don't mean cute.
Just saying.
Hey,
Didn't mean
Oh
to
man,
make you
we're
blush,
already
dude.
off the rails already. It's early.
Yeah. So okay, Elly De La Cruz is what we were talking about,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, like, are you higher or lower on Elly De La Cruz than you were a year ago?
I'm higher. I think he's got so much upside coming. There's so much of him to get better. And I know, like, there's all these different talks about what Elly should be doing or shouldn't be doing. You know, he's a much better left-handed hitter, more dangerous left-handed than right-handed. Is he going to only go to being a left-handed hitter someday? Who knows? But he's 23, man. There's so much ahead of Elly in his career. You know, last year the stolen bases weren't there, but the RBIs were up. His average was better. Home runs were kind of right around the same. They're like, Elly is going to get better. When he's on the field, he's going to get better. I promise you that. I believe that he's going to be a potential MVP candidate for years and years to come.
Yeah, and like I was talking about it on Foul Territory yesterday, like, if this is his floor, right? His floor is all-star shortstop.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean,
Yeah.
you take that. That's pretty good. Like,
You're right.
You know.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. I mean,
and I think so much because there is so much potential, and this guy is so uber talented that it is easy to overlook what he is by dreaming on what he could be.
right. You're right. I think because of the superstar status that we've all put on him, we do forget that he's a great player already.
Yeah. He is a very good player. You know, like, where wouldn't he start? Kansas City, but he would start, just not a shortstop. You know, it's like,
Yes, I was going to say somewhere.
yeah, like, they don't go, you don't play. It's not like a quarterback, right? You're not gonna like, oh yeah, there's only one quarterback. No, you can move someone to center field or second base or third base or wherever. Elly could play quarterback too, probably.
Yeah, and you know what? I bet if he was in Kansas City, Bobby Witt would say, "I'll play second, I'll play third if you want Elly to play short."
Yeah,
You know, like, he would totally be that guy. But that's like the Scarlett Johansson thing. That's never going to happen. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, but like you did see it. A-Rod went to third to play with Jeter.
yeah,
Now, should have been the other way, yes, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Well, besides that, Danny, how was your Reds Fest?
it was great, dude. It was so enjoyable. I've usually gone for both days, and going just to Saturday, I felt like it flew by. You know, the first day, usually there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot more signing and picture taking. So I feel like I was just in and out. I barely saw you when I came back to the green room. You were gone.
Yeah, I saw you once.
I didn't see you again.
Yeah. I was out tapping.
Yeah, I bet if I was there the first day, you know, we probably would have been able to chat a little bit more, because it's longer. But I had a blast, man. I always have a blast going there and signing stuff and hanging out with people, and then seeing people that just say, "Well, who are you?" Because it's been a long time since I played, you know, and it's funny. And then people make fun of those that say, "Well, who is this guy?" Actually, one guy told me good luck this season. I was sitting with Dane Myers, signing next to him, and this guy was like all like excited about having Dane Myers, and then I signed it. I'm like, "You sure you want me to sign this?" And he's like, "Yeah, I want you to sign it, and you're gonna have a great year. Good luck this year." I'm like,
I think
"Thanks."
he was talking about Riverfront Territory. He was really excited for your year, Riverfront Territory. Hey, that's pretty good. If you're 52 years old and people think that you're still a professional athlete at the top of the game, that says you're in good shape.
Well, maybe I must have shaved that day, and it looked like I'm just kidding. I don't shave.
You don't shave.
Not often. Not often.
You just like spritz air.
I probably looked more athletic than I really do normally because I had like warm clothes on underneath, and I probably looked a little bulkier instead of just fat. Like in normal clothes, I just looked fat. But that day I was looking athletic to him. At least to one person, which is good. But it was great. How did you enjoy it? Did you get to talk to a lot of people?
Yeah, it did. It was nice. I spent some time talking to all sorts of different guys. Had a really nice long conversation with Graham Ashcraft and his wife.
He's a good dude, man.
He is a great dude. He was hilarious. And then, one of the really cool ones for me is sitting at a table with Tucker Barnhart and Devin Mesoraco. Just two solid, great dudes. I love catchers. I will always love catchers. Too. You have to. But I do too, because for my job, they're great. They always have the best insight. They're really the people I enjoy talking to the most. I always joked with Tucker that when he was with the team, I talked to him more in the season than I talked to my wife, and that was probably true because I talked to him at least twice a day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Good one. I could say the same thing for me. When I was playing, because that was a different wife.
That's why both of us don't have those wives anymore.
We talked to each other more than our own wives at the time.
But
we were with each other. Yeah, we were with each other, in the locker room with media, with players, more than our families.
And I think that's
throughout the whole season too.
It's funny you talk about that, and I of course know it from this side, but you know it from that side too. That is one of the things I like about these events is when everybody's family is there, it's just a little bit more low key. It's more personal. These are people we spend a lot of time with. You see the media guys a lot. We're on the road at the same time. We don't travel together. Yeah. They might have stayed at the same hotel back in your day. Now, I do not ever want to stay at the same hotel as a team. Because
I don't think we did.
Okay, yeah, I know I did it some early, but you just don't want to run across somebody in an elevator after maybe something.
Yeah,
happens. I had one of those in St. Louis once, so nothing good ever happens at St. Louis. It is a weird thing because it's almost for us, this is I don't know, when you go to pick up your schedule at high school and you see a lot of your friends that you hadn't seen for a while, but you're not starting school yet. You got another week or so. You got about a little less than a couple of weeks till spring training. And that is that real first day of school. Hey guys, how's your off season?
Yeah.
And I will say this, there are a couple guys who, I know it's cliche, the best shape of their lives. I was really impressed just looking at Sal Stewart and Cam Collier. Two guys that were known for being a little bigger, and you have questions about defense and what positions they can play. Both those guys were in really, really good shape. So that's something to watch.
I didn't see either one of those guys. Does Cam Collier, where do you see him starting this year?
Double A.
Double A? Yeah.
Yeah. That kid can hit. I think he's going to be able to hit, but he is probably first base or DH. And you don't ever want a 22-year-old DH, but this team just offered however many 125 million to more plus to a DH. So, it is a little different, and much different than when you played and you had to, you got to hit and the team got you and your 2 home runs. So
didn't they? I wish pitchers still hit. I know a lot of people love that pitchers don't hit, but I just felt like it was like there was strategy in the game when pitchers were hitting, And I loved. We may have talked about this too. I loved when teams would play in the World Series, and if you're in a National League ballpark, pitchers had to hit. American League ballpark, you didn't. So you got to figure it out. You can't have the same strategies going on all 7 games,
And then, what do you do with the DH? Like Terry Francona can probably talk about that. Like, oh, woo, okay, David Ortiz, you're not going to have him in the lineup. So
right, exactly.
X, Y, and Z.
That's a big deal. Right.
And then, when do you take David Ortiz out just because, you have a lead and you're like, okay, maybe one at bat, is that worth 2 or 3 innings in the field? And
right. Because, yeah, exactly. He might get you a grand slam, but he might give up 5 runs defensively, So pick your poison.
Yeah.
But we don't have to worry about that anymore, unfortunately.
It makes my scorebook cleaner. So there is that.
That's one good thing, and I do appreciate that part of it too. Because if I wasn't keeping score, I wouldn't care. But yeah, when I do keep score, it's like, okay, no double switches and all this stuff. It's definitely a lot cleaner.
The only thing is, the MLB scorecard that they use, the one thing that baseball has changed over the years that they need to adjust is more pitcher spots. Because they'll put 5, and
yeah,
it's like they're going to use more pitchers than that a lot most days. So there's a lot of little scribbling.
Yeah, they need to make spring training ones because there's always going to be extra. But try to do a college game, Trent, with
I've done it,
scorecards because they're definitely using 8 pitchers a game.
Oh, easy,
yeah.
And it is a little different that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of college, how did it go last night? Sorry for.
Yeah. So listen, I know I went into it thinking I just don't want Mario Cristobal to have bad clock management and lose the game, or Carson Beck to not do what he's been doing the last few games. And he was looking okay towards the end, and then that last pass, why? Why?
Right. Because if that guy didn't intercept it, the other guy had a pretty good chance too.
Yeah, and even if nobody intercepted it, the receiver wasn't even on the same route as he was throwing it. The receiver would have had no chance of catching it either. And why don't you give the ball to your playmaker, Malachi Toney? He didn't get touch the ball one time that last drive. So, and you know what's crazy? When we were doing stuff at BetMGM, I placed a bet on Miami, a real bet that they would win by 1 to 6 points. So Trent, if they go down and score a touchdown and win that game, I'm golden because it was that bet at the time I placed it was plus 625. Which is yeah, but it is what it is. So yeah,
but if you
very disappointing
to cover, you wouldn't have made as much, but you would have made. So what I do, what I did, the Georgia Ole Miss game. I rarely gamble. Georgia Ole Miss game. I had Ole Miss, and I call that insurance. So Georgia may have lost, but at least I won money.
Oh. Wait, you did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet on Ole Miss to beat Georgia.
Why would you see?
Because it's insurance. You just I win either way. It was $20.
I see what you're saying now.
Right. Am I okay losing $20 if Georgia wins? Yeah, sure. I say I went to somewhere to watch it and I had a $20 cover. That's what it was, and it was
I get it
for that. And then if Georgia lost. Well, stinks they lost, but I was happy for my cousin who went to Ole Miss, and I got,
and you won
$25 or something. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should have done that.
It's insurance. I also bet on because when the first time, way back, when it became legal in Ohio, was right after Georgia beat Ohio State. and then played TCU in the national championship game. And I had money on TCU, and you know what? I can't tell you how much it was and what I lost or whatever, because, well, I had a lot of time to realize that I wasn't going to win that bet, and I didn't, but I was fine. So there you go.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Like,
it's
I know,
insurance, like, $20 insurance,
yeah.
right? Like emotional insurance.
Yes, because you're covered mentally and physically. Mentally, if Georgia wins, yippee!
Right.
Physically, if Ole Miss wins, I'm physically getting paid. Dude, see, and that's the thing. I'm not a gambler either. I just was doing it just because we were there.
You were there.
I'm like, yeah. So that's interesting. I'm going to go that route next time.
It's great.
It's a win-win.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, like, I'm not going to put a lot of money on it. Just a little bit.
Me neither.
Like,
me neither.
But it's like, hey, I got a couple beers paid for.
I bet $20. That was it.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And gosh, that's just such. See, you don't need to go to medical school to be smart. You just proved it again.
I did. I don't know that my sister will agree. Or other doctors I know well. We shall see. So, anywho, well, hey, how about that? That was another great episode of Riverfront Territory.
That's right.
One of these days, I'm gonna like be able to come up with that like right off the bat. And by that time, hopefully we have a lot of more subscribers, and everybody tells their friends to subscribe. Like, you even got some comments in at Redsfest though, right?
Yes. There's people that are listening and wanting to know when the show was, and I'm like, well, right now we do 2 shows a week. We'll start doing 3 shows a week when the season starts. So like, people are into it. Yeah, I love it.
Well, if you are one of those, we love you telling us. But we'd also like you to tell your friends to subscribe. You can rate and review us. That helps as well. But as I've noted, I need all the help I can get. And so it's a good thing. We're part of the Foul Territory Network. So, like, I don't know, if you want to go see the Cubs, if you're curious about the Cubs, go see my guys Sahadev and Patrick. Like, they're brilliant. We have shows for almost every team. And it's kind of great. We got some cool names. Speaking of Cincinnati, Josh Harrison, I believe, is on the Bucko one. And so just, anywhere you want. And then, of course, there's the main Foul Territory Network. Was lucky enough to be on there yesterday with AJ Pierzynski and Eric Kratz. One solid guy and one Gator.
But they're both catchers. So
they're both catchers. So it's tough with AJ. He's a Gator on one hand, but he's a catcher on the other.
Yeah. I mean, but he was only supposed to go to that school. Technically, he didn't go because he signed out of high school.
Didn't he?
No, I thought he signed out of high school.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think
Dr. Phillips. Well, hey, it won't be the first time I'm wrong. But are you looking it up right now?
You're right. He didn't even go. What?
No, but he was supposed to go.
Yeah, but so what?
I know. I'm just saying. I know AJ's a Gator. He's always been a Gator. I think that's where he committed before he signed.
Like, and there's some people like Tyler Stevenson I will never forgive because he signed with Georgia Tech. Taylor Trammell too. Two guys that I thought highly of before that. You signed with Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't be mad
Tucker
at him.
Barnhart signed with Georgia Tech, and
really ACC guys. I love that.
Tech's going to be good though. Both Georgia teams are going to be good this year. So
well, Georgia usually is.
Tech usually is. Tech's usually better than Georgia.
Yeah, they had a few down years, but they turned it back around.
And Wes Johnson's done a heck of a job.
Yeah. He's phenomenal. Yeah, the guy's a genius. Yeah, everywhere he goes, he wins. Okay, that's a whole nother podcast.
About one genius, Wes Johnson, to another, Danny Graves. Thanks for
see Trent Rosecrans
listening. No, Dr. Shea Rosecrans maybe, but not See Trent. So anywho, that's another one. Please rate, review, subscribe, tell your friends. I think we will be back later this week and keep doing it again. I got to find something else about Danny to bring up. Maybe I'll go dive deeper into those similarities with the playmaker.
No, you can't use Michael Irvin again.
Well, just similarities, We'll look at certain things and see if there are parallels between young Danny Graves and any era Michael Irvin.
I have faith in you, dude.
All right, brother. All right. Thanks, everybody, and thank you, Danny.